Good afternoon. This is the Honeywell Cat6 cable, RJ45 jack. This is what we need to make the network cable. We need the RJ45 clamp, we need the wire cutter, we need scissors, and the RJ45 itself, and the wire. So on the wire, you could see two numbers. Zooming in, two numbers. One that says 0710 feet, and the other one says 0712 feet, which means from 0710 to 0720, that is going to be 2 feet long. The mistake on this wire is the head. It is not clamped in properly because the head of the plastic housing is supposed to be on the inside of the clamp. So we will be cutting this off to make a new one. Our next step is to cut the outside housing of the wire with the wire cutter. There is 4 sizes, but the size we choose have to fit perfectly flat. And you could only turn this machine once. And then you take the housing out. Twist. Oh, you have to twist it. Then you take the housing out. And then you check to see if there's breakage. If there is no breakage, you have successfully completed this second step. Then you clean up the extra stuff that we don't need. And now we're just separating the wires individually. Because in the next step, there would be a pattern. The pattern will be later put into the description below. And now we're making it straight because we do not want wobbly wires. So we're using the tool to help us make it straight. And now we're separating the colors. It is white orange, orange, white green, blue, white blue, green, white brown, brown. Once again, we have to make it straight. Besides making it straight, we also have to make it flat because we will be clamping it into the RJ45 head. And we have to clamp it correctly so we don't have the mistake in earlier shown. And there has to be a space between the clamped part and the connecting wire head, because if there's no space, then we will have a mistake and this line will not be correct. Now we will be using this to cut it, but we will not be using this side. We will be using the other side so we can get a clear cut. And the cut has to be straight, it cannot be crooked. So when you fit it in, one side they will all be even instead of one being short and one being long. Okay, so now that they are all straight, and we make sure that we have to fit it in slowly and correctly, and you see the white part, the housing of the housing is touching the clamp, so that is perfect, and the front of the tip is all the way to the front of the clamp. So then this is the golden ratio of the RJ45 head. The back, which is the housing, have to be in the clamp. So when you clamp down, it will clamp the housing. Now the copper wire have to touch the tip of the RJ45 head, so the golden clamp could clamp into the copper wire front and back. And the golden tip has 2 prongs, or 3 prongs actually. It will need to clamp into the copper wire in order for this to be perfect. And right now it is, because the copper wire is at the very tip of the RJ45 head. Now we will be putting it into the AP clamp. Using both hands, we're going to clamp it once, and then twice to make sure it's clamped. And now we test by pulling. Okay. Now we test by pulling the RJ45 and making sure that the clamp has been clamped in from the back and the front. The front, which is the golden prongs, is clamped in to the copper wire. And we could see from the front as well that it is clamped into the copper wire. And show you from the other side, once again, it is clamped in. So once you see 3 things, the first thing is the very back, the housing is clamped. The second thing is 2 of the golden prongs is clamped into all of the copper wire. And the third thing is the ratio is still at the same. The copper wire is still touching the front of the RJ45. Then you are finished with this. And now the fourth thing to do is to test it by pulling it. And once you pull it and it's not loose, then you have completed. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up.